Hiya, how are you? Let's have a little reading, shall we? Hope you can hear that. Wishing you some love as well. Hope you're having a nice day. Sunday, it's just about to get dark here. Okay. Who's this reading for today, please? Tell us, give us a significator card. Oh, what we got here? Oh, quite a few. The Sun. Gorgeous. The Ace of Wands. Power. Judgment. Acknowledgement. Six of Swords. Moving forwards with insight. Okay, whoever this is, I feel like you've had an awakening lately in terms of you've made a real conscious choice to move forwards in your life, to actually expand your consciousness, expand your thinking, and to keep reaching for whatever your dream is, whatever that it is that you're wanting to accomplish in life. I feel this is after struggle, but because of the choices that you've made, because of your choice to keep growing, to keep finding what's beautiful out there, to keep finding your reasons for being here, the Sun is an absolutely massive card. It talks about our urge towards greater consciousness. It comes with humility, obviously, that we don't know everything. There's always more to learn. There's always more to do. But in you choosing this, choosing to stay open-minded, choosing to keep searching for your answers, your dreams, and understanding that there's always more. It's like choosing to live, in a sense. You're choosing to live. So this tells me there's been a bit of a struggle, but you're choosing to live. You've chosen the light, yeah? You've chosen to have hope, to keep living each day, to give yourself a purpose. And because of that, we've also now got the Ace of Wands, which is the universe, life, source, spirit, giving you an absolute surge in terms of energy, ideas, inspiration, creation, invention, whatever it is. It's possible you're brimming with ideas at the moment, or you're wanting to get started on something. And the Ace of Wands is, it's the kind of inspiration where you also get the energy to carry it out. And it can be like the idea for a book, and that's it. You've spent 48 hours typing, you know, just simply you had the energy to, because you had the inspiration to. It could be something as simple as, right, I'm going to change my whole house around at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. Go and do it. That's your inspiration. The more that we follow this huge instinct that we get, this huge inspiration, the more it's going to come back to you, because you're kind of answering life and saying, yeah, I'll run with that. I'll give that a go. I'll manifest that. And the more that you give that a go and keep yourself open, like you have with the Sun, the more that these opportunities, ideas, and energies are going to come towards you. I really love that for you. And then we've got Judgment here. Judgment is one of the final cards in the tarot. And it's about us having an honest assessment of our life, our character, our behavior, our actions. And in doing so, we actually release and liberate ourselves from everything that's gone before us. And we are able to look forwards with a fresh outlook and fresh positivity again. So something about you kind of really accepting what you've been through, accepting maybe what's hurt you. I feel like you've already had quite a deep journey of self-healing, self-discovery, self-acknowledgement. And sometimes, you know, it's as easy as going, right, that happened. That did happen. That thing happened, you know, name it, talk about it. You might only have yourself to talk to, fair enough. A lot of people are in that situation, and it can be timely and it can be worthwhile. So do honor that. Judgment is, in Mythic Tarot, it's actually the same character who's the magician, Hermes. He first pops up when, after the Fool, when we first take that very step out on the soul's journey. He meets us again at the very end to actually assess the journey that we've been on. You could also liken this to the feather of Ma'at, but this isn't death. Judgment is not about death. It's not about being on your deathbed. It's not about meeting your maker, anything like that. It's about an honest reckoning between you and yourself, you and your higher self, you and your higher mind, you and your soul, you and your heart. An honest look, an honest reckoning. And if you have a good look at that, I mean, there's nothing sinister or scary. It's more in terms of worship. You're honoring the soul that is you, the journey that you've been on, and you're honoring every single step that you've taken to lead you to where you are now, which also led you to make such a huge choice to keep yourself alive in terms of hopeful, optimistic, positive, trying to see the brighter side of things, trying to think of the glass being half full instead of half empty. This is a conscious choice that we all make at various points throughout our lives. And you've done that. You've been given a load of energy. Maybe you want to make a new start. Maybe there's a new career for you. Maybe you are inventing something, starting a new business, some sort of creative endeavor. You absolutely have everything you need to get going with that, okay? And this honest assessment that you're having about yourself, it's as deep as it can possibly be, because it's not just like flicking through files and going, oh yeah, that happened that day, that happened that day, it's not just that. It's a real getting to know yourself. It's a real kind of making peace with yourself. And what it also does, it brings back to your core any part of you that may have been defragmented along your journey. By having a greater understanding of the situations that you found yourself in and the people you encountered and what went on, you can bring all these parts of yourself back to your source. Maybe you've left bits of energy. You know, there is a saying, isn't there? Oh, a bit of my heart is still there, or a bit of my heart is still there. We don't quite realize what we're saying when we're saying stuff like that, but it's quite real. And when you go back and you take this reckoning of your life, you can actually, as well as just the remembering and the acceptance, you can actually call your energy back from that time, place, person thing. You can also send love to the same thing, and it's a huge release. Judgment is a massive release. And in going through that process on a very deep level, on a level of your soul, it's an assessment of the soul's journey so far. What you've then got after that is Six of Swords. Excuse me. You see that all right? The Six of Swords is often taken very literally, because there's somebody in a boat and they're leaving stormy waters and going off to a calmer place. Swords being all mental though, all air, it's actually about us leaving stormy waters in our mind. And because we've gained an understanding, if you think of what the Four is, which is similar to judgment, it's judgment on a 3D level, but it's more an assessment of the here and now, but it still brings this calm, this logic, this kind of restful peace, because you've had a word with yourself. not in terms of like a bollocking. You don't need telling off or anything, but you just need to accept stuff sometimes, don't you? Be like, right, this is where I am. How can I go from here? It can be as simple as that. And the truth is, you can only start from where you are. So it's all about where you are, you know, right now. Because of the understanding that you've gained, because of the choice that you've made to stay, to keep yourself vibrant, choosing life, yeah, like the song from Trainspotting, choose life. Something's happened for you to choose life lately, and in that you've not only got this resurgence of energy, this power, this fire, and as well as an honest reckoning of who you are and what you've been doing all this time and what you've been learning on a very real level of your mind. This is going to bring in so much peace, and you're going to be able to kind of pull everything that you've been through together and direct yourself forward, knowing exactly where you're going, because you've got that knowledge about yourself, you've got that insight of everything that you've been learning, and the calmer waters that you're sailing into are the calmer waters that you have created. It's like you've stabilized your mind, and you know, because of judgment, you can't hide anything. You can't hide anything. So this is an honest look. In one of the tarot decks, it's literally mummies coming out of their coffins that need to be faced. So on every level, judgment is like looking at the skeletons in your closet, you know. But having done that, having dealt with everything that has hurt you, held you back, caused you pain, you've faced all of it, you've dealt with all of it. There's kind of nothing in there now to jump up on you, to surprise you, to frighten you, because you've faced all of it. So the Six of Swords is an extremely important and pivotal card, because it really is about, instead of this monkey mind and this mumble jumble and stuff we might hide from, stuff we might kid ourselves about, stuff we might pretend just nope, 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 nope. No, having faced everything, having realized with humility that we are part of everything that happens to us, and you know, sometimes we cause stuff, sometimes we are the victim of stuff, but all we need is an honest assessment and an honest reckoning of all of that, and we can move forwards in our life with that all dealt with, and nothing but kind of peace, harmony, and a clear direction. I absolutely love that for you. And staring at me the whole time from the bottom of the deck is death. So death relates to all four of these cards. We wouldn't move forward with the changes in our lives, very similar to the Six of Swords, without accepting. Death has got nothing to do with dying at all. It's about accepting what is, what has been, and what holds us back, what keeps us kind of stuck. Because the truth is, whatever is going on in our lives and in our minds, oh, I've got the star there as well, so you haven't lost hope. Something about your hope saw you through and helped you to make this choice. You've made a choice to continue on your journey of consciousness. I'm sorry if you've really suffered and something took you to the point of choosing life, but I think it happens to the best of us. So this is telling me that you've got some amazing days ahead of you. Part of the humbling experience, and part of what occurs to us as we go through the experience of the death card, is understanding that life carries on regardless. Whatever it is going on, we all make very, very personal choices as to whether we grow and expand and kind of agree to keep flowing, a bit like the Temperance card. Doesn't matter how hurt you are, if you can still be open to love, then love will still be open to you. This feels really big. It feels really big. So Death and the Star are really interesting. Tell me more about the Sun card, please. Did you want to come out? Seven of Swords. Okay. Seven of Swords is an interesting card. Okay, so it's given me a bit of an extra message with the Sun now. The Sun is telling me that there's also been a lot of exposure lately. The light has been shone on any illusions, any lies, any sneaky underhand stuff going on, anything hidden beneath the surface. Seven of Swords is a really powerful card. Sometimes when we need to achieve something, the mind is very capable of understanding that we might need to be a bit wily. And the Seven of Swords isn't always about, oh, someone's lying to you. Sometimes it's really, really necessary for you to keep your cards close to your chest for some reason, because you need to achieve something, with the full knowledge that at the right time you're going to tell everybody everything, because you're actually not the kind of person with anything to hide. It just might feel like for whatever endeavor you have at the moment, you're needing to be wily and have guile. So it's an element of how the mind can work. It's like, oh, right, I'm about to see all these people, but I've got this thing going on. So today, I'm actually not going to tell anybody anything. I'm going to carry on as if nothing's changed. And then after I've done that thing, when I see all these people again, I'll be able to tell them. And because I'll be able to explain why I didn't tell them last time, they'll understand and they won't kind of lose trust in me. We've all had those situations. So we know what guile and being wily means, but this can also mean dishonesty from others and being on the brunt end of that guile, especially if it's become a painful situation. So I feel that part of this Sun card is not just you deciding to be like, no, I'm going to keep living my life, whatever's gone on. I'm going to hope for the best and I'm going to keep marching forwards. There's been something obviously that's caused that maybe you've not trusted. So just here, Queen of Wands and Four of Cups. Yeah, there's been doubts. I think you've been hurt. Oh, Queen of Swords underneath that. Crikey. Okay. You'll know how they relate, but obviously they're female energies, fire and air. If that's coming through as distorted energies for you, that can be people who are not honest, people who are out for themselves. Why is the Ace of Wands here, please? We learn from what we suffer often. And if you can take an honest look of what you've suffered and an honest look at what you might need because of that and give yourself that, you can move forward. You can reach for a new day. You can have new energy. It might not feel like it at the time. You know, it's really shit being lied to, isn't it? Deception. Nobody wants to live. So because there's been deception, then there must be the Sun, okay? Everything that is hidden will come to light. Why is the Ace of Wands here, please? Why is the Ace of Wands here? Oh, it's that one. Oh, she's here, the Queen of Wands. So is this you? Are you the Queen of Wands? Are you having this rush of energy because you have accepted your nature as the Queen of Wands? You've accepted that you have a confidence, you have magnetism, you are creative, you have fire. There's a lot of fire here. I love it. Or was it the Queen of Wands who was not honest and put you in a situation where you had to choose whether to carry on or not? A lot of other readers, they do equate the Queen of Wands with a witch, with the black cat and obviously all that power. But the Queen of Wands also is a sign of somebody extremely loyal, extremely stable. You know, like keeping the home fires burning. It's the image of that wife who keeps the farm going while hubby's away fighting war. You know, she keeps it all running. She's capable. She's loyal. She doesn't run off. She doesn't go looking for anyone else. She knows exactly who she is. She knows she's powerful. She knows she's warm. She knows that she can just take care of anything she needs to. Yeah, I'll take that. 5 of Cups. Okay. So Judgment, I'm liking the both of these because they've got the rainbow. 5 of Cups can be a bit of a sad card. Disappointment in love, mistakes in love. Sometimes we doubt. We act on those doubts and it can cause issues. But also the 5 of Cups in this deck is really, really interesting because I'm going to keep them both together actually. So in this, you can see his whole focus is on the 3 spilling cups in front of him. This is love being poured away. But also he's cloaked. He's cloaked in this grey cloak, which is just flowing out and becoming part of the water. So this is telling me that his aura is so, he is feeling so sad and overwhelmed by the feelings of grief, disappointment, loss, maybe disappointment in the Queen of Wands because she was deceptive. So the sadness and the grief take all of the colour out of the aura and it all just starts pouring away with the poured away emotions from the cups. What he's not seeing, because he's looking down at all of that, he's not seeing behind him that there's 2 cups that are absolutely enormous, that have always been there, and they lead to a brand new day, to a brand new life, to a brand new world, where that rainbow is. So in the Judgment card here, this is him throwing off that cloak of sadness and turning round to face, accept and welcome the brand new day that was always waiting for him. The 5 of Cups is a bit of a tough card because a lot of people can get stuck there. A lot of people get stuck at 5s in all of the suits, okay? They are massive challenges in how we manifest in real life. And there's a very clear distinction there. But if you look as well, on the pathway, so if he did a turnaround, on the pathway between this sadness and grief and the new life, there's this bit of a dark area. We do have to journey through the unknown before we get to that nirvana, because we don't quite know exactly the way to get there, especially if your heart's been broken, if you're grieving, if there's been like a real trauma to your life. Give yourself a lot of kindness and time, because a lot of us are in uncharted territory. And when you're in uncharted territory, if you think of it in terms of somebody else that you like, yeah? Someone you like and care about, if they're in uncharted territory, are you going to expect them to know what to do? We don't, do we? We think of our friends and we're like, oh my God, like this is a bit mad, you know, the situation they're in, or wow, that hurts, you know, like they're telling me their story, and that's a lot of pain for someone to go through. You're not going to say to them, right, come on, you know what to do, like don't sit there crying. So don't say stuff like that to yourself. We're all around here, okay, trying to get on the path that we want to be on and trying to deal with what's hurt us before, okay? And like I said, a lot of people sadly do get stuck at the fives for quite some time. You are not stuck because you've made this choice. You've made this choice to have an honest assessment. You're not letting the grief overtake you. Maybe you did for a while. Maybe you had to go through that kind of immersion in those feelings, in that emotional state. But you're not there anymore. You've done that turnaround, yeah? And this is another thing to acknowledge. Acknowledge the changes that you're choosing to make. The more that you can kind of honestly reflect on who you are and the choices that you make and make that part of your daily practice, like you're having an assessment of every day, the kind of easier you're going to go on yourself, especially if you can treat yourself as if you're a friend that you care very, very much about. Yeah? You deserve it. Look, you deserve it. And before any sadness that went on in your life, before any pain from others that might have been caused to you, these two massive cups full of love were always there, supporting you, holding you, being there for you. And they're within you, okay? I love that for you. Right. What else we got? Clarify Six of Swords, please. Why is the Six of Swords here? Six of Swords, that one. Oh, I love it. So a couple of things we were saying before. We were kind of touching on the Chariot a little bit. Can you see him all right? Oh man, I love the Chariot card so much. This is, so before, on your journey of the soul, before you got to this real point where you had to decide, where do I go from here? Is this all going to sink me, or am I going to search for a new day? You've already been on lots of journey for yourself in terms of self-knowledge. The Chariot card is such a powerful card because it's when we reach a point that we realize, oh, I have urges that take me this way. I have urges that take me that way. I kind of get swept up. I get carried a lot. We all do, you know, we're all learning and growing. And it's about realizing and learning how to take complete ownership, mastery, and control of all of your urges, all of your passions, desires, everything that drives you in different directions. And the reason the horses, dragons, unicorns, they're always black and white, because we always have opposing urges. And it literally boils down to the urge into the unconscious, subconscious, the great void, or the urge towards the light, to expansion, to knowledge, liberation. So you've already mastered a lot of who you are in terms of willpower. You've already got a lot of willpower, and I think this is maybe what has helped you in this very difficult journey here to actually take charge. You might not be able to take charge of many situations around you, and certainly not any other people, but you absolutely can take charge of how of yourself and how you react and proceed and respond and behave and speak from now on. This is a real encouraging card of self-mastery. And so the Six of Swords was on a thinking level, on a mental level, on a your daily chit-chat to yourself. This is balance. This is peace of mind. gained by the insight of everything that you've learned before. The Chariot is self-mastery and self-control by sheer force of will. So now, the kind of person you are, it doesn't matter what might happen, you kind of take that split second to go, right, how do I want to respond to this? You don't just like jump up out your seat and start gnashing your teeth at people, or immediately respond to something. Like, even if someone's maybe trying to panic you, you don't immediately go, oh shit, okay, let's panic. You're like, this is huge willpower. This is you then being able to not just drive yourself forward in exactly the direction you want, very similar to the Six of Swords with the insight. It's also kind of about choosing to create from now on as well, choosing which direction you go in, choosing which steps you take. And usually when people reach the level of the Chariot, it also comes with this innate confidence that nothing can ever kind of sway you again unless you choose to let it. So it's not necessarily an emotional thing. Like, obviously, if you're sat with a loved one and something tragic's happened, you're going to be empathizing and all that. This is more, it really is the will of consciousness, and about bringing all of your energies together under that umbrella of your will and moving forward. Absolutely brilliant card for that. I love that. Very positive message here. I don't doubt that you've had a really, really tough time. Is there anything else? Any other message we can give someone here, please? Any other message? Okay, bottom of the deck, Knight of Pentacles. Keep plodding on. Keep doing it. You, like I said before with the humility, I feel like you're a very realistic and grounded person. And like I said, now you know what direction you're going in. There's absolutely nothing stopping you. I don't feel you mind that it might take time, you know. Things take as long as they take, don't they? If you're wanting to have your own apple orchard, it's not going to be in a few months, is it? So yeah, I love that for you, Knight of Pentacles. I just want to see if there's any advice from the dragons with all of this as well. It would be interesting to see. Oh, I love that. The Omega dragon harnesses the divine feminine power of creation. She brings energies of intention. Hold your vision and birth the higher consciousness. Look at that. Look at that. Your decision to reach for higher consciousness, doesn't matter what the impact is. You might have had people going around going, nah, they're like this and they're like that. This is the journey of the soul. It doesn't matter what other people think. They're on their journey of the soul. Have a look at that Omega dragon. You get a good look? See the whiteness of that? That's really powerful. Harnesses the divine feminine power of creation. Okay, so will you join me? Let's harness the power, the divine feminine power of her creation. So, like I said before, we can only start from where we are, can't we? So wherever you are in your home, if you'll join me, let's take a little breath. And what we're going to do, wherever you live is absolutely perfect, okay? Always start from where you are. So have some breaths, and I want you to imagine that wherever you're sat or lay down or anything like that, you're starting to grow, okay? You're starting to get bigger and bigger. Oh God, what's the story? George's Marvelous Medicine. If you're familiar with George's Marvelous Medicine, okay, we're going to be the nana right now, okay? So let's grow. We're going to get bigger and bigger, taller and taller, and we're going to poke out of the roofs of where we live, okay? Whether you're in an apartment block, anything like that, just imagine yourself getting bigger and bigger and bigger and coming out of the top of the building of where you are, okay? So from the top of the building where you are, you can look around. You know the area where you live, yeah? Have a look around. This is one of the things I like to imagine anyway, because I like to bless the area where we live, okay? So you've become giant, yeah? You're an absolute giant, and you are now surveying the area where you live below you, okay? So this next bit is completely up to you. Either you are going to become this dragon now. You are this white omega dragon, okay? And you're just circling above where you live, looking down. Or this white dragon has just pulled up for you to climb on. It's massive. It's way bigger than you. So however giant you've imagined yourself to be, this is way bigger. So comfortably get on the back, snuggle in, and we're just going to go for a little fly around where you live, okay? So you've got that in your mind. Either you are the dragon and you're flying, or you're on the dragon, like holding on, and you feel so safe. There is nothing, absolutely nothing unsafe about this white dragon. You are held, you are comfortable, you are safe, you are treasured, you are honored. And we're just going to have a nice circular fly around in the immediate area above your home, okay? So do that for a moment. And as we circle your home, every time this dragon or you breathes out, this is white fire, okay? With the tiniest hint of pink in, just to let us know that it's this nurturing feminine energy. But as the dragon is flying around the area where you live, this white fire is coming out of her, and this white fire is cleansing the whole area. And as you're looking down on the area where you live with your home in the center, you can see this white just spreading everywhere. And you and the dragon, you kind of say to each other, yeah, that's looking really nice down there. Everyone's really chilled in that area. Everyone's feeling like right now they're actually okay and all is well and everything is where it's meant to be. And that we're all just feeling a tiny bit lighter and a tiny bit more grateful to be here. And as you see the white fire going down over the area where you live, it just gives you a sense of knowing that this white can only increase. It can only expand. It can only infuse into everybody who's in that area and make this area as big as you want to. Go as high in your flying as you wish to. But we're just taking a moment maybe to use the power of a dragon to have a kind of a bit of a blast over where you are and a bit of a scorching of the space with this brilliant, brilliant, beautiful white light. And then we're just going to slow down a bit, hover back over your home, and you either come back to yourself or you disembark. disembark your Omega Dragon and just thank it. Thank it for coming in. Thank it for cleansing the space. Thank it for confirming that the choice you made to birth the higher consciousness that is within you was correct. You had the correct intention. You had the correct vision, which you're holding, and you've got so much energy to do that. You are able to have an honest, non-judgmental judgment of yourself, make peace with everything, and move forward with the insight, peace, and knowledge that you have acquired up to now, on to the next step. I love that for you. Lots of love. Take it easy.